Welcome back to Bike Race Weekly. I am your host, Ryan Gerard, and I am here with my co-host,
Rick Grunwald.
And we are also here with two guests this week. We got Pete.
That's
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Pete?
And then we got my fiance, Anna.
What's up, Anna? How's it going?
What's up, Anna?
Not much.
Welcome, guests. Thanks for joining us for an exciting episode this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Before we get into it, we might want to have a little cheers. Cheers to the podcast.
What is this, by the way?
So this is actually a segment of ours. It's called Beer of the Week.
Beer of the Week. We did start Beer of the Week, new addition to Bike Race Weekly.
All right.
This week, what we're drinking is Three Floyds Brewery out of Indiana,
Nice.
and it is their Scotch Ale.
Word.
So I hope you guys like a Scotch Ale.
What is it actually called?
Scotch Ale.
Oh, it's just called
Robert the
Bruce.
Oh.
Robert the Bruce.
Robert the Bruce.
So that's what we're gonna be
Okay.
drinking in this episode. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's kind of like a.
Also, we're drinking out of a sampler set. This is we've had this for like how long? 6 months now.
Years. No, it's over a year.
A year, and this is the first time ever using it.
Finally found an
The
excuse
Christmas.
to actually use it.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a gift and then we
Oh,
kept it. So
we're not gonna keep our drinks in the little holder.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's
It was
not
just for the beginning. You guys,
Nope,
doesn't
nope,
make sense.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, everybody, jumping right into it with some very exciting news.
Well, first off,
What's up, Ryan?
We'll say why is Pete here?
Because he's a friend.
He's a friend. But also, Pete used to do competitive rock climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete's a good climber.
So pretty good climber. We
Right.
used to climb.
We used to climb a
Not
little bit, too.
competitively.
Yeah. Now very infrequently.
Very infrequently.
But we're going to talk a little bit about climbing and cycling and how they kind of relate, kind of overlap, and that kind of
You
stuff.
were kind of the one who was initially like pushing me to get into cycling, so
Yeah,
I started doing that last summer.
Pete is also now into bikes
What kind
as
of
well,
bike did
too.
you get?
You didn't know you had a bike?
No. I think you
Yeah.
brought it up. No, he brought it up.
Okay.
Ryan also is bad at listening, so, so go ahead.
So yeah, I got like a gravel cyclocross bike, a felt. I think it's like an F40X is the model if anyone's curious.
Yeah, it's blue and red. It's
yeah.
a cool looking bike.
It looks really cool,
Looks
which
sweet.
is the important part.
That's right.
And yeah, mainly doing like rides around Madison on it so far, and then I randomly got the idea to do a century ride.
Oh,
this
you doing?
summer, so-
Oh, did you do a century ride, or you're doing one?
Yeah,
You
no,
jumped into a century ride.
I did that last summer.
Oh, which one? Or did you just go do it?
It was like me and two friends.
Oh, you know what? I think I
Yeah.
remember hearing about this.
Yeah, I just kind of thought it was a cool idea, not really thinking about it too much.
I've never even ridden a century.
And
I haven't either.
No.
Which is crazy,
Okay, so-
because we've gotten
Yeah,
so many times.
We'll let you finish quick, Pete. But
Yeah.
Ryan and I, on 3 separate occasions, we've mapped out like exactly 100 miles to ride, and we've ridden it, and then gotten to the point where we're like 5 miles. We're like
In my
5 miles
defense-
short, and
in
we're.
my defense,
What do you mean in your?
I
defense?
mapped out a 100-mile ride, but Rick wanted to do a loop, but we weren't sure how long the loop
Yeah,
would
loops.
be.
Loops are always better than out and back. Fact.
No, they're not.
Fact. So yeah, so we every time.
Lander the better.
Whatever. On all three occasions, we got to like 95 miles and we were just done. And like we just
I would say 90 miles.
fine 90 miles.
It'd be so hard.
But we were also like home. We were like
Yeah,
back
like
at our
we're
house.
in Sunday.
We're in Sunday. We're like we're not gonna go ride 5 more miles.
You know what's the most immoralizing thing is when you ride past your house
And then,
after
yeah.
like 5 hours,
Mhm.
and like it's real hard to not just.
Real
You know what?
hard.
Let's do a 180.
Especially when you're at 90 plus at that point.
That's
Yeah.
why you do loops. That's
Yeah.
why you do loops. Only one way back.
What's
Yep.
race like?
88.
Okay.
Yeah, 88.
92 in the special. I don't know. They had like one route that was slightly longer one year. But anyways, how did your 100-mile excursion go?
Oh my
Adventure?
god, it was an adventure.
This was also like your first year of bikes. Like,
Yeah.
This is like your first like actual road bike in a long time, right?
Yep. Yeah. No, I hadn't ridden in a really long time, and kind of got like really liked the idea of gravel bikes, and did a couple rides. We did a ride before that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
biking to work, but like nothing really longer than like 20 some miles.
Yeah, when you told me you did 100 miles, I was very shocked. Just jumping right into it, huh?
I kind of like that idea of like pushing yourself and like seeing how it goes. So yeah, it was the last like 20 miles were really rough, and I was also riding with like 2 smaller females. and like gauged my food that I was supposed to bring based off of them because I like hadn't really done it before. So I was kind of short on food at the end.
A little
but,
bonky.
yeah.
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 Seeing like hallucinations.
A little bit. Yeah.
I almost blacked out yesterday during my training ride.
Why'd
my
you
God.
black out?
No, I almost
Trainer
blacked out.
ride,
Trainer
not
ride.
training.
It was actually kind of funky because like I'd never kind of hit that point before.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like at that point, you know, like when like you kind of get blotches.
A little bit.
Yeah, I was getting
I
blotches.
get them when I sneeze really hard.
I got like 2 really big blotches like in the middle of my eye.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like the shape of like lungs, you know?
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and I got them like in the middle of my eyes. And I was like, whoa.
I actually think you're just going blind. I think I think you have cataracts.
Yeah,
That's what that means.
You only see them when you're on your bike.
yeah,
That's kind of crazy though. Like, were you just like pushing it super hard?
yeah. It was
He
really
hasn't
hard.
been eating enough.
Oh yeah.
No, it's yeah. We were talking about this today.
Mm.
I have not been eating enough, but like I kind of hit that point of like I can't eat anymore.
Like you're just not hungry.
Yeah,
You guys start eating crappy food. Like
I mean it's
Taco
just
John's.
I've been eating just like straight pasta.
all
and
right,
stuff.
what is everybody's if you go out for a 100-mile ride and
Yeah.
What'd you eat after?
What is like your because I like mile 80.
We call it the Fazoli ride.
the Fazoli ride because Fazoli's is like the best like most efficiently cheap garbage you can put in
It's
your
like
body.
4,000 calories,
For
so
like-
you have to do a
for like-
100-mile ride in
Right.
order to take it in.
And
We
it
do
costs
Who
like
Hot rides now.
$4.
Yeah, Who Hot rides.
Who hot rides?
Hoorah.
Hoo Hot's pretty
That's
good.
our
for
one.
That's our
For the
go-to.
listeners that don't know, Hoo Hot is like a make your own Mongolian grill.
All you can
bowl.
eat.
All you can eat. It's pretty good. But at mile 80, I'm generally thinking, what am I gonna like scarf down my mouth that's gonna be delicious and full of calories? So
Yeah.
for me, that's usually devouring like an entire pizza. An
Pizza's
entire
good.
cheese
Pizza's
pizza.
Pizza's a good go-to.
I always kind of like bump it up, like I'll order pizza.
Oh,
Like it's
fancy.
not like frozen pizza. Like I gotta order pizza.
Okay.
Pizza Hut.
Pete, what's
Well,
yours?
we went for like burgers and sweet potato fries after. So
Ooh,
That
that's
sounds
pretty
good.
That's good.
Nice
Good
and
one.
salty.
I was
Yeah.
also just kind of like chauffeured there because
Yeah.
at that point I was like
like
felt somewhat drunk, but just kind of like went along with it.
Yeah.
Like we're eating now. All right.
It's also really fun to drink after one of those rides
no,
because
no, it's
like
not.
3 beers and you're like, whoa.
I'm hammered.
Well,
yeah.
that was the crazy thing is like the last 10 miles I was just like a beer just sounds like the best thing in the world right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
I finished
So
and was
hydrating.
just like, I'm
No.
good. Like, I'm okay.
What about you, Anna? What's your favorite thing to like devour after a long ride?
I've done pizza and Who Hot.
Pizza and
Who
Hoo
Hot is
I will say
awesome.
we did Who Hot last time and it was perfect.
Because it's all
Yeah.
you can eat. You just
And you can do whatever you
Also
want.
too, like the thing about like going out to eat,
You
So
feel like you
first-
deserve it.
you get that, so you have
Yeah.
to change, shower, get there, but then wait like another like 30, 45
Yeah.
minutes.
I would say that's the
Not
worst.
34, not with Who Hot though. You get used to
Yeah, that's
you
what I'm
need-
saying.
I-
Oh,
Who
I
Hot,
would say
you
that's the
get
worst
there
part.
and you immediately go.
yeah, you don't have to wait.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's the thing about it. Like, if you have to like wait for like a burger or something,
Yeah.
like it's an extra like.
Yeah, I was ready
30,
to steal
45
the
minutes.
people's food next
yeah.
to me.
But Who Hot, you can just go up
Yeah,
and get
Who
what
Hot,
you
you
want.
just go.
Nice.
I
Alright.
think that was really good when we did that last summer.
Speaking of food, how about those USA Cycling upgrade changes? Am I right? So that was one of our topics today that we wanted to briefly touch on. Is there are some pretty big changes? To
Big changes.
Big changes to the USA Cycling category upgrade system.
What
Yeah.
was your goal at the beginning of this year?
Yeah. Oh, big
Yeah.
announcement. Ryan accomplished a big season goal. Congratulations, Ryan.
Yep. I haven't officially gotten it yet, but I have.
So you'll be done biking now.
I have. Yeah. I have blown away the
Mandatory.
the minimum amount of points, but so technically, right at this moment, I don't have the mandatory upgrade.
Okay.
But back in August, I would have had the mandatory upgrade.
Hmm.
I would have had like 44 points in August.
Okay.
And the mandatory is 40. But since they just changed it, technically I don't now have the mandatory upgrade, but I did back in August going off of this new point system.
So you're gonna be upgrading to
Yeah,
Cat too?
yeah, right now I have I think 44 points. 44 it's either between 44 and 50. The minimum is 30.
Oh, okay.
Before the upgrade, the new upgrade system, I think I had 27.
Okay.
So I was trying. I mean, that was
You're
like,
on
I
the
was
border.
like I was like on one podium away
Yeah.
from upgrade.
Yeah.
The biggest difference. So if anyone hasn't checked it out yet, it's the same point systems across all the different types of racing,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't matter like time, distance doesn't matter anymore. It just matters how many people were in your race.
So
they started giving out points to farther places out. So like if you have 30 people in your race, I think they give points out to like 7th place now.
sure.
And they've also given more points for higher placing. So during like Toad last year, I took 3rd, and I think I got 7 points for taking 3rd.
Yeah. And so yeah, they've also they've bumped up the amount of points that you get for like smaller fields of racing.
Yes.
So that's, I think, a common theme among USA Cycling is that they've seen shrinking field sizes across the board from Cat 5 to Cat 1.
I think they've been getting bigger 4-5, 3-4, and then also a lot more like sandbaggers. So I think they want to move the sandbaggers up.
So I had a question about that, if I could jump in.
Yes.
The mandatory upgrade,
Yeah.
is that kind of to prevent sandbagging? Does that mean
Yes.
you have to go up?
So you would be shocked at the amount of people that will stay in the category 4 race and just beat up on everybody for as long as they're allowed.
Well, I was asking because it happens in climbing a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Because in climbing, you choose your category, right?
yeah, and it depends what comps you're doing. Like if you're a pro, there's like just that one pro level. But if you're doing any sort of the like regional comps, then you have to pick which like division you're going into.
Yeah, and I used to race motocross a while back, and it happened the same there too, where there was A class, B class, and C class was like 60 people, B class was 30 people, and A class was 10 people.
Yeah.
And C class, the top 3 there probably could have raced in A class.
Yeah, so like 2 years ago at the big crit tour in Milwaukee,
Tour of Race Daily.
in the 4-5 field, there was one guy who won every single race besides like 1 or 2.
Yeah, he cleaned
And
up.
then he skipped, he went from Cat 4 to the following year racing in the pro race.
Wow.
I don't think it was he raced the Cat
No, in the
3s.
following year. Yeah, following year he raced in the...
Thanks.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Oh wait, you know what? No, it was the
No.
Cat 3-4
Yeah,
field.
He then he did the same thing to the Cat 3-4 field where he won every single race, but
No, it was the Cat 3-4 field where he won every single race.
Oh, that's what you're thinking.
And then
of.
went from Cat 3 to then skipped doing 2-3, and then went straight into the pro field.
And he did pretty well in the pro
Yeah,
field
he did
as well.
really well in the pro
Yeah.
field. He did like he raced in like all 10 or 11 races.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, generally, I'm a big fan of the upgrade system because I just think it's really bad for people that are getting into the sport, starting out at like the lower categories, to just like show up to a race and get beat up by somebody that's way above their skill level.
That is a good thing to bring up because they've changed that as well. It's no longer Cat 5, it's just novice.
Correct. Which is
And you can choose to race in novice or skip it to go to Cat 4.
yes. So I think that's a good
That's
thing.
good.
Yeah.
Did they change it for women's at all?
That's
Not that
a
I'm
good
racing
question.
anymore, but
I don't think so.
I don't think so because the field sizes are generally smaller.
Yeah,
So like
that's always hard.
with women's racing, I think they're also like a little bit more generous if you want to upgrade. I think it's more like if you feel like you're ready to race, like you're ready to go.
but you're still racing. Like I was still racing against people who have been racing
Oh,
for
her
10
thing
years.
is that they pretty much they throw all the women into one.
They
field.
do. Like
That's-
which is fine. I'm not racing anymore, but
Right, and that's always just been a function of
it's-
field size, of just
Right.
having, like less people there. Because if you go to like the Intelligentsia Cup, they actually have like a women's 1-2, a women's 2-3, a women's 3-4, and a women's 4-5, I believe.
I don't think
I don't think it goes
they
past
don't even have a
3.
women's.
I think it's just Cat 3 for women's.
It might be
Or
3, 4,
4.
5.
No,
but
they
I
don't
think,
have a Cat 5. I don't
but
think
I-
at all
oh,
for
really?
women's.
But
Usually they
no,
do
I-
a 3-4 and 1-2.
I actually think it is a 4-5 race at Intelligentsia. It's like one of the only races where there's like a full like
category.
because there's just so many more racers
Because
there.
all the other ones I didn't even have a category 5. I don't think.
I say that, but I think it's.
I don't think
It
there's
could-
Cat 5 women's at all.
No, there's no Cat 5 women's. It would be a 4-5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So basically Cat 4.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're still going against
And
people who have been racing for 5
like,
years.
When
True,
she did
right.
when she did Toad, she raced again. There was like a few girls there who again like just won every single race.
Right.
The next year raced the pro race and
It's-
did well in the pro
it-
race.
But they couldn't have even chosen to go to a middle race.
Well,
That's the thing.
Oh,
It's
well,
different.
still
I
they
don't
could have raced in that race already.
It's different for something like mountain biking where the women or the men that are winning the race, it's like they're just 5 seconds or 50 seconds ahead of you, and they're not affecting like your quality of the race.
Yeah.
But it's a lot different
With
for
crit,
road.
you're getting passed. You're
Yeah,
getting.
well, for road racing, you're just getting dropped off the back. So like if somebody's there and they're
Sure.
just like shelling the entire field, it like ruins your experience in the race.
Oh yeah.
So Pete, are you looking forward to racing next year? That's really what I'm getting at.
Yeah, no, I've thought about it, and I think we were talking about cyclocross kind of at the end of
Yeah,
the
cyclocross is a great
summer.
time.
So
Super
Did you
fun.
ever look into getting a mountain bike?
like not in the past. I mean, I kind of got my bike as kind of like a cross-functional commuter, like plus weekend activities.
Yeah.
So not yet, but
If you're looking into like fun, like weekend, like just to like go, like not really like kill it, go into like Black Hawk, or what is it called? No, not Black Hawk, Quarry Ridge
Quarry Ridge.
is really fun, and it's not too far from you.
sure.
Quarry Ridge is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's kind of like a ski hill how they kind of designed it. So it's really downhill, flowy trail, but then
Good
there's
mix
like
of
and then there's just
trails.
like one or two different routes to get back up to the top, and you just keep doing different routes down, and then take the same one back up.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did that a lot
you just keep
last
doing
year.
runs.
I've also heard that there are people who do bike biathlon.
yeah,
Yes.
like biathlon is a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's is it with a gun or is it bow and arrow?
I've
I've seen both.
There are people in Green Bay, I think, who do it like similar to regular biathlon,
Yeah.
with like the 22 rifle, and I think they're doing like mountain bikes type like trail stuff, not probably
Yeah.
downhill, but
All the videos that I've seen, they're like mountain bikes essentially. So which it makes a lot of sense if you're doing biathlon, you probably want to
We're gonna take a quick
Take break a so we
can reset
quick break.
Yeah.
We're also available on video right now, so Ryan's making some quick adjustments to the video portion of our podcast. We're still kind of working some of the bugs out and figuring that out, but we're keeping the audio rolling while he's doing that.
gotcha.
Well,
Progress.
Yeah, just a work in progress. All right, we're back. So yeah, biathlon, trails, that'd be a lot of fun. I know you're into biathlon.
Yeah, well, trying to be.
Trying to be.
Yeah,
Trying
when
to
we,
figure it out.
we get enough snow and find time to get out on the
We got a lot of snow this year.
trails. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's been decent.
It's
So
sporadic, yeah.
I think I've been driving every time we got a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, bummer.
decent amount of melt cycles too, but
Yeah, right. It comes and goes for sure. But anywho, racing.
yeah.
Pete, can't wait to have you out there at the crits next year. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
What we want to do more like camping,
Yeah.
mountain bike race trips.
That's kind of what we're planning on doing a
Yeah.
lot of next year.
Specific mountain bike stuff or like
Yeah.
gravel
So
bike packing.
So Wisconsin has like the largest mountain bike race series in the nation.
No way.
So and they have like
It's like 9 rounds of it.
yeah,
Eight rounds.
every single race has like a pre-ride on Saturday, race Sunday, and they have
Okay.
campsites at every single race.
Yeah, and we
That
did
sounds pretty cool.
we did a little bit of camping last year.
Yeah,
Just
Riley
like-
camps at every Wars race.
yeah, Riley goes to
Yeah,
everyone.
it's
He
fun.
camps.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good
Spring.
things, so we're gonna try to do some of that this year.
Nice.
So
You're welcome to come.
of course
Yeah.
you should join us. Yeah, it
Scope
should
it
be a
out.
lot of fun.
Sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, you're welcome to even come and just watch one weekend.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
You
It's a
can
nice
also,
intro, figure out how it works.
if you want to race, you can just borrow Ryan's bike, and he'll let
Huh.
you use it.
That's how that
Oh.
works.
Yeah, I'm allowed to offer up Ryan's bike for newbies. Yeah.
Need someone to hand him water bottles, so
That's right. That's
if
right.
I'm working, I can't.
I've also handed Ryan a water bottle before, so
There's an
I'm
art
in-
to
I'm
it.
on that
There's an
team.
art to it.
Wouldn't
I
wanna
got
mess-
very-
wouldn't wanna mess it up.
All right, quick bottle clinic. If you're ever at a race and you're that kind of gotcha, nice.
No.
If you're ever at a race and you're trying to give somebody a bottle feed during the race,
Mhm.
as they're coming by, you want to hold the bottle really high so people on the video podcast can probably this.
Yeah, that
actually-
was what I was using.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great, yeah. So like you want to hold the bottle very like high, so almost like above head
Oh yeah,
level,
yeah.
Yeah.
just to make sure they can like see it. and,
Because
like,
on the
grab it.
bike, you kind of sit higher than where they are.
They
Exactly.
always had me hold it up
Yeah.
on top so that it would
Oh
just
yeah,
like.
yeah. The trick is a light hold on the
Light
cap.
hold.
Yeah.
Light hold on the cap.
Okay.
As they're
Cap.
coming by, you want to start to move the bottle
Yeah.
away. So like, let's say you're coming through, you want to move the bottle in the direction that the rider is going, so that instead of grabbing it and being like very jarring, they're kind of like
Oh.
you're like cradling it almost. They're like
Yeah,
nesting
so
it.
Yeah.
if you're going too fast, if you just kind of hold it out there, when you hit it, especially like a full one,
Yeah.
it's like it kind of like hitting like a wall, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I did that once during a road race when like we were going like 25 miles per hour. I lost my water bottle, and I was like, it was hot,
Yeah.
and I yelled up to it was Scott who was doing my water
Oh,
bottles,
yeah.
and like I went by him and I grabbed it and I almost crashed because like
Oof.
it was just like hitting a wall.
Yeah. That's I mean, also too when you're
I get nervous during those.
when you're doing a bottle feed, it's so chaotic. So there's a race where you and Matt were racing, and I was in the feed zone giving you guys bottles.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw like grown men like yelling at their wives and like
That's what I was afraid of.
people dropping bottles in the middle of like a field of
Oh,
riders
God.
because like it's generally family members that are handing the bottles out. They don't know what they're doing.
I will say when we first started dating and when I did my first feed zone, there were some nice wives who helped me out because I literally was standing there like looked like I didn't know anything. And then
Some wives know what they're doing.
They looked experienced, so I kind of asked for help, and even though we went through it about 100 times beforehand, no, just stand here, you'll be okay.
The water bottle handoff is a two-way road, you know? You gotta be going into it, like, ready to get it. Like, a lot of people aren't positioned to get one, and also, too, they're not, like, you gotta kind of slow down a little bit. It's okay to, like, kind of lay off of the group a little bit to grab it.
So if you drop it, you're
If
doomed.
you can, it's like, make sure you get it, because
It's gonna save you time.
it's gonna be a lot easier to, like, fill that little gap that you leave than it is to not have water for another 45
That
minutes.
actually reminded me, did you watch the Kipchoge, like, record marathon?
I watched some highlights of it. Yeah.
They had a guy get on a bike to hand him his, like,
Oh yeah.
water and electrolytes every, like, certain amount of time.
I've seen that with like professional runners. They'll have somebody on a training ride or training run with them, just like riding a bike and just giving them bottles like throughout the entire thing.
Well, we trained for half even when we'd go on a trail, we set up some water bottles, like at certain spots that we knew we'd have them during the race, like when we'd go on a long run, so that you know, like, okay, this is like during the race, like these are the mile markers of water, so you knew how to kind of pace yourself up to it.
Did I tell you once I had a water bottle at just like the park over here in Sun Prairie?
That was full of urine?
No. But I was on my cyclocross bike and didn't have a water bottle cage, so I just took a water bottle and like I just put it next to like there's like this like fake rock. I just put it next to the rock. Someone came by, dumped out all my water.
And left the water bottle.
Like they didn't just like they didn't just like steal the bottle. They just dumped it all out.
Screw this guy.
And like this person like didn't think to like take the water bottle. They were just like, yeah, fuck this guy. Just dump it out.
I love that.
And I'm like, literally I'm the only other person here.
Yeah.
You could probably assume that's my water.
The guy riding the bike in spandex in the park is probably the only. He probably
it's not like
saw.
that.
He
It's
probably
an actual
saw.
mountain bike course.
Okay, sure. He probably saw you and was like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Sometimes there are like walkers on there, and they kind of like they probably don't assume it's a mountain bike trail.
That's true.
And they kind of give you a dirty look.
I've almost run into. Oh, remember when we were riding in the lacrosse area? There was a lot of hikers on those trails.
A lot of hikers.
Those were mountain bike trails. I've gotten really close
We were
to
going
like
fast.
we were going
That
like
seems dangerous.
There's like a lot of blind corner. I mean, it's like it's a
Well-
hiking up and biking down,
yeah.
but it's like a fast downhill.
It's like the kind of downhill where
It was like 30 minutes downhill.
There's no inclines to break it up. It's just like a downhill course. And there were some times where I had to like slam on my brakes, and people were giving me the evil eye. And it's like,
you had to like.
it's like, you know, this is a mountain bike path. This is not a hiking
You had to like
path.
constantly be feathering your brakes just in case, because like there was no stopping.
No,
Like,
it was really sketchy.
At the most, you would slide 20 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of mountain bikes, thoughts on full suspension mountain bikes?
The full
It's a
suspension.
thing?
It's a thing now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I think
it's-
e-bikes are excellent.
I love e-bikes. I think it's a cool idea because you could have now like downhill courses in places where there's no lift access.
Yeah.
Think about it. You could actually like
Oh.
make sweet downhill courses where there's like some good elevation, like that place in lacrosse we went.
Good point.
They had really good elevation. Like they could have made like a sick. I mean, we were pretty much on one, a sick downhill course. And then when you get to the bottom, instead of like using all your gas to like huff it back up the hill, you basically have this sweet full suspension downhill bike that can just like.
Could ride
Yeah, that was
longer.
kind of the
That
issue.
could
Is
ride
if you were
longer.
on anything but like a cross country
Yeah.
bike, those uphills were
Yeah.
killer.
We were with our friend
Wow.
Casey, and
Yeah.
Casey was on like an enduro bike.
I tried it once
And-
uphill, and I was like, oh my gosh.
It had like twice as much suspension as we were running, and it was so hard to go uphill. Like
And I was on my hardtail, and like going up the hills were like super easy for me. Then me and him switched for a run, and like going up that hill, like I felt like I was going twice as hard as everyone and just getting dropped.
Yeah, it's crazy like the amount of difference that makes, just going from like a light hardtail to like a full suspension squishy downhill bike.
I found out after the run that I had his bike locked out.
Yeah, and it still felt pretty squishy, right?
I couldn't even tell.
There was actually like a downhill course there too, which was
I know, we went on it.
I know, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Okay, so speaking of mountain biking, Pete, you're a good climber. So we talk a lot about like training for bike racing and kind of like what we do. Ryan's big trainer intervals guy. He does a lot of trainer road.
I follow along with trainer road.
Yeah, I like to try to get a lot of mix of like high intensity intervals and some longer base miles in. That's kind of how I like to train. But I'm interested to see, how does like a climber train, and somebody that was like competitive and still is like a good climber, like what was your kind of like gym routine?
Yeah, I mean it, like I'm sure just like cycling or anything else, it depends on what exactly you're going out to try and do. So if you're, like I was always strong in bouldering, but my endurance was kind of crap.
Oh, and before we go any further, just to clarify for some of the listeners, there's generally two main types of climbing.
Yeah.
Right? There's bouldering, which is stuff that's pretty close to the ground, more explosive, no ropes.
Yep.
And then what would you call the other type of climbing?
Just like normal rope climbing.
Rope climbing.
Yeah.
Okay. Longer stuff, right?
Either like top rope where the anchor's at the top, or lead climbing where you're kind of bringing it up with you. So one of the things is that I knew that I really wanted to, like if I was going out to Kentucky, this place called Red River Gorge, which is like some of the best sport climbing in the US, the routes get upwards of like 90 feet, where it's just like you can't really train for that easily, just either climbing outside in Wisconsin or something like that. At my wall when I was in college, I remember that one was even like a shorter wall, so what I would do is and that was like one of the periods where I was like actually training the most and thinking about like working in an aerobic range versus like anaerobic stuff.
So climbing was actually aerobic.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like kind of a bit of a crossover with like cycling and climbing, and that like the way that I kind of look at it is they're kind of both aerobic sports, because you're on the wall for a long time. And like some of those routes that you guys do are like long, like big routes.
Yeah, and climbers sometimes talk about it in terms of like endurance, these like kind of vague categories of endurance, not necessarily vague, but they blend together. Endurance, and power. And power would be just like the pure muscular, more the
big
bouldering, explosive style climbing, and endurance is for those longer routes. So you can go online and there's like some standard stuff that people put together, but it would be like spend 30 minutes on the wall.
Okay.
Don't get off the wall for 30 minutes. And then come down, rest for like 10, 15.
So just do different like diagonal routes, down, up.
Yeah.
Don't come down for 30 minutes.
I would basically traverse kind of basically doing like zigzags up and down, because nobody would ever belay you for 30 minutes.
Right. So that's almost like your threshold efforts, almost just like at your limit for 30 minutes or like however long you could stand the wall for.
Yeah, and you're trying to do it so you're not like completely gassed, and that you're keeping it in that like more aerobic range.
Okay.
And then if I was thinking about like a bouldering competition or something like that and wanted to focus more on power, you can do like sets of 5x5s where you pick a route at a like close to max difficulty and try and do it 5 times back to back to try and get that power. So those are some of the like common things that I would do.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Yeah, because I feel like you don't really think about this, but like bike training and a lot of other sports like
I think
have
all training is the same. Doesn't matter like what sport you are.
It's getting
same.
reps in. It's if you're doing stuff that's longer, it's just like getting those like long sustained efforts in, working on that, and then like same thing like you're working on power, and like when we have like crit races coming up, we're doing the same thing. Like we're working on like sprinting, 1-minute efforts, 5-minute efforts, like
Yeah.
getting that like really high end power down essentially.
I think it's just the difference between are you aerobic or anaerobic.
Using your arms, using your legs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well,
Right.
I like the Trainer Road triathlon program right now because you don't have a lot of like bike rides that are like recovery rides. So
Yeah.
you're not doing like four hard rides and then just a boring recovery ride because your recovery days for your legs are your swimming days, your off day, and then you have your running days.
Yeah, even running is
So.
still kind of considered an off day.
Right. So it's nice though because I don't
different
have
muscles.
Yeah.
I don't have like the boring just like sustaining a pace on the bike. Like all my bike rides have sprints above FTP.
Yeah, those 30 minutes on the wall were boring.
Right, yeah, they're like
Yeah,
the
it
hardest.
sounds boring.
And
Yeah.
that's why, like,
At
I
least
don't
we,
know.
yeah, because at least we can watch like TV while we do like our workouts on the bike.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh man.
Yeah,
Like,
see, that's the good thing
podcast
about-
music.
See, that's what I do is we have like a whole setup upstairs for
Oh,
like
nice.
indoor training. So like today, I had like just a 1 hour easy ride, but
Okay.
I was catching up on. There's a big Rainbow Six tournament going on, so I was watching.
Nice.
I was watching a match from earlier today.
We're big Siege fans.
But otherwise we do like we do
Yeah.
like
Otherwise, we watch Netflix. You know, watch
Yeah,
movies and
movies.
stuff.
That's nice. to
hard
be able to
rides,
do
we do
that.
music videos.
Yeah, hard rides. We'll throw like a music video montage on the
Yeah.
TV.
So it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the great thing about Trainer Road is that all it is just the workout, and then you just kind of supply your own entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So makes the time go a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Also, like at Boulders,
Local gym.
Climbing
events.
gym.
yeah, their music made me want to blow my brains out.
Which one, east side or downtown or both?
East side.
Okay.
Cause
Downtown's
like
not bad
you
actually.
think that like like people like working out and stuff, you'd
Pump up
want
music.
like fun
Yeah.
upbeat music, and it's just like bluegrass or something, like
It's
super
or
like
grunge. I've gone
yeah,
into
it's
this
super
grunge.
super hippie
What?
stuff, and you're like.
They're not hippies, they're dirtbags. What is like the climbers, like the dirtbags soundtrack? What are they listening to?
The dirt, like
the guy that rolls out of his 1984 Honda Civic,
Honda Civic.
at 8 a.m. in the morning, ready to,
Hasn't showered. in a
hasn't
few
showered,
days.
but he's ready to climb today. What is he putting in his Walkman to get pumped up to?
That's a good question. Oh man, I don't know.
You can also reference your own playlist since
Yeah.
I wouldn't say of that genre or of that breed, but like pretty close to it.
I feel like when I was
You live
getting
in an apartment. Is what I'm getting at.
right, like when I was getting into it for a while.
Oh, we're just gonna take a really
Take a
quick
pause.
pause. Yeah, really enjoying this.
Yeah, what do we
Yeah,
what do
this
we
is
think?
good.
What are the
Robert
thoughts?
the Bruce.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm usually. Oh, here you go. Yeah, Scotch. What is this again?
Scotch Ale.
Scotch Ale.
Robert the
Robert the Bruce.
Bruce.
I'm liking it. All right, is video back?
Yeah,
Video's
video's
back.
back.
All right. So Pete, what are you listening to as a climber?
Music.
Yeah.
I feel like what works well with climbing for me is like kind of like old school, more like underground hip hop,
Oh, okay.
like Talib Kweli or something like that, where it's like it's not like complete amp up music, but it's like somewhere in between.
Yeah.
That's usually like a decent climbing gym vibe, I feel.
Yeah, it's not Waka Flocka Flame,
Right.
but it's also not Billie Eilish.
Right. Waka Flocka is for
Honestly,
like
either of those at the gym would have been fine.
I like
Just like
both.
what they're playing was not okay.
You know, I get it. It was just way too chill.
It is below chill. It's kind of like I'm trying to go to sleep right now.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you want
that's
to play
no
with
way.
it.
You gotta have a good
boulders.
pump. You gotta have a good pump up soundtrack.
Yeah.
yeah.
When I get my pump on, I want the pumps
Okay,
playing.
so we had a question for our climbing friends when we would go to comps, is that in our local comp you would get, if you made it to finals, they'd bring you out for the finals route, like one by one, and you got your walkout song.
Oh.
And that was like essentially, like baseball, you're walking up the plate or something like
Yeah.
that.
And Toad, they got the dun dun dun. That's
right.
They played that at every single pro race.
Like the theme song.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Toad.
Before every single pro race, when they call up like the top 10 riders, they play that same song.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dun, dun, dun,
Same
dun,
thing.
dun, dun, dun.
Every
That's
time.
awesome.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I've heard it like 50 times.
I was just gonna ask if anyone knows what their theme song would be, their walkout
That's
song.
a great question.
You-
Kind of it's a big on the spot.
You had a
honestly-
playlist that we had to listen to on the way to every mountain bike or bike.
Oh, yeah.
We had a playlist. And
Okay.
my go-to
You do have a song you
pump-up
listen to when you're
was
on the.
Alpha Omega by Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay.
And it's just like
When
him
you're on the
saying,
rollers.
I'm an alpha bitch.
Is that all he says the entire time? You don't have to say
No,
it,
you do
actually.
It's very vulgar.
So,
But
That's your roller
The
song.
entire song is
right?
him just saying I'm an alpha.
Is
nice.
that actually what he says, or
That is like the most cliche warm-up song I've ever heard.
When you're on your rollers, that's what you play.
Yeah,
Puts his headphones in and
it just jams out.
on
I
repeat.
jam out.
Alright.
Yeah, I jam out to hard stuff.
I've got what I would believe to be the best warm-up, walk-up song, which would be a classic, Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus.
Wow.
Everybody's gonna know the song. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, like this is my favorite song, like put my hands
I
up.
don't think anyone's going into my favorite
And then
song.
as I'm walking up to climb or whatever, everybody's got their hands up. You know, Party in the USA. So that'd be my walk-up song. Yeah,
Nice.
That's an interesting choice.
it's a good choice.
What's yours?
God, I feel like I wrote it down at some point, and it went through iterations, and now I haven't thought about it in so long. Maybe something from Rick Ross. I feel like that would be a good,
That would be
Okay,
good.
okay.
good vibe
Ross,
to
yeah.
roll into finals with.
Mm-hmm.
Anna?
I don't know. I
What?
don't really have one.
I'll
See when I do my
I have to
triathlons this
solidify.
year.
Okay,
If I
so-
come back, if I get
I-
invited back, I'll have it.
Okay.
I'm not good with music. My music makes
Anna
Ryan.
only listens to like country that makes you blow your brains out.
Everything that's like not Machine Gun Kelly makes you want to blow your brains out.
Hey man, nothing wrong
So,
with that.
you know, after my triathlons this summer, we'll see
There
what
you go.
my.
So,
I'll have to
we'll
come up with one.
We'll see.
There
Do
you
they
go.
do call up? Okay, so we watch the Ironman every year in
Yeah.
Madison. Do they do call up songs for the pros in the Ironman?
I'm sure they play something like the dun 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 dun.
They,
You don't need to hear that
they should
anymore.
take requests from the riders at Toad about that.
No, they have to what is it, like copyrighted or whatever.
Oh no, I think that's if you play it longer than 30 seconds.
No,
15,
it's
it's like 10 or 15.
I thought it was
Oh,
like
they only need
2
15
seconds now.
Really?
Yeah.
That is
It's
so
probably
lame.
changed
I at least on like YouTube, it's like 2
well,
or 4
on YouTube
seconds.
it's a big deal, but I think
Back
in
in
the live
middle school,
event,
we
they
could put
play
music
it.
on our websites we made for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
They used to like, yeah, we used to.
On your MySpace?
No, we made websites. I was in digital whatever class. We made
I
websites.
loved MySpace, man. I wish.
I didn't have one.
Somebody should
have
bring
one
it
either.
All right. Well, what else do we want to talk about today?
Well, we're at 38 minutes.
We're at 38 minutes.
That's
Is
a
it
pretty good
time to?
spot.
Oh,
Any last?
anything else?
Oh, why don't I got it. We got a segment here. It's called Grind My Gears.
Ryan, you read my mind. That's exactly.
What,
what I was
is there
gonna-
anything in either cycling, life, or climbing that really grinds your gears?
Anything.
Anything.
What's grinding them?
Grinds my gears. I don't know.
We can come back.
I got one.
Yeah, I got
What's
one
grind your
an
gears?
opposite of grind my gears. Fixes my
Oh,
gears.
lubes your gears.
Lubes my
That
gears.
lubes your gears. Alright.
Yeah.
USA Cycling, I feel like listens to this podcast.
You think so?
Yeah, we throw things out there and they listen. Listen to us.
You know,
I
a lot-
think changing that upgrade, the upgrade system,
Okay.
and like trying to get people to move up and to kind of, I think that's progress.
I
They're going in the right direction.
I would say we've had a lot of criticisms about USA Cycling, and I think they have mostly been around the category system. So I'm also very.
I bet they
I'm
have
very
an
lubed
intern.
that they're finally listening.
I bet
to
they
our
have an
podcast.
intern that like just sends
They're-
like little clips from our podcast.
Do you think
to
their
the
whole
CEO.
job is just to listen to different cycling podcasts that are about USA Cycling?
Right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Could be.
Anna, what's your grinds and
Well, so I got really nice shoes and pedals. Thanks, Ryan, for Christmas and my birthday. But they're too tight and I can't clip in and out.
Oh.
So
Anna's still
I
trying
can.
to figure out
You
how
I
to-
can
adjust
do
it
it-
in.
Oh no,
No.
it's all the way loose.
Yeah, so I can do it on the trainer, but I'm gonna fall off if I try it on the road right now. So.
When it wears in, it also gets easier too.
It's been like 2 months, and I like clip it multiple times during my rides on purpose, and it's just not clicking in.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah, you'll get used to it.
Like my balance is gonna be way off when I finally
find
figured
it.
out.
Bozu
Just find
That's
a
true.
nice
I've been doing the Bozu ball.
find a nice stop sign or light post to lean up against
There you go.
every time.
And
you
the
have to
Y,
stop.
the Y took over my space because of their new personal training equipment, so I'm kind of my gears are grinded because of that too.
Yeah, it grinds my gears too.
It's not necessarily biking related because I haven't been biking long enough, I think, to have something grind my gears. But if you're a skier out there or a snowboarder, somebody who visits a ski hill, don't just sit down when you get to the top of the hill. I'm talking mainly to the snowboarders out there.
That's right.
That's why I stopped snowboarding.
Don't
I
do
hated
it.
that.
Because you did that and we hated you for
That's
it.
Do you think
that's
Nick's-
the perception that we all have that
Do you think
snowboarders
Nick's
do.
listening right
That's
now?
Oh,
right.
for sure. Nick listens to all.
Don't do it, Nick.
Nick.
That's a good one. That's a PSA
That's
to
a good
everyone.
one.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good one.
Good
It
PSA.
slows everyone else down.
All right.
It does. It does.
Not safe.
No, it's not. Alright, what grinds my gears? I don't know. Nothing's really grinding them super hard these days. I'm a pretty carefree
That's a
kind
good
of
thing.
guy. Yeah, I'm just having a good
There's gotta-
time,
yeah.
enjoying life. I don't know. In terms of the bike world, what's grinding my gears? I'll tell you what's grinding my gears. So sometimes I go to the YMCA and I want to do some weightlifting. So and they have some bikes with power meters there. So I'll just do my
Really?
workout on the spin bike.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'll do my workout on the spin bike and then I'll do my weight training and then go home. But I'll tell you what, because I'm just like, bust my ass so hard, I am sweating like crazy on the spin bikes. They don't have any fans facing the cardio equipment.
Ooh.
And I'm looking around seeing everybody not sweating as hard as I am. And I'm thinking, what are they doing here? They're not working out as hard as I am. What?
Headband.
No, Ryan, it's the whole body. I'm dripping over this
Maybe
bike.
you just sweat a lot. Maybe you have
Little pro
overactive
tip.
sweat
Headband.
glands.
Sweatbands.
I think that
Like
the
the
Yeah.
80s. Or 90s,
World
whatever
of
those.
a difference. I started
End of the world if they're
incorporating
not all
them
washed
into my
when he has to
workouts.
bike.
Yeah,
Ryan
I
pretends
started
like-
incorporating them into my workouts. Game changer.
It's
Really?
Game changer.
Yeah.
Performance enhancing.
Ryan
Performance
discovered this-
enhancing, because like otherwise
Yeah.
you just get it's everywhere.
He used
I
mine.
can't see.
Used my headband first, saw that it worked, got himself his own.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't wear them after he wore
They're
them,
like
so.
$2
I feel
at
like
Walmart.
every year you discover something that is just like so mundane and obvious. It's like I'm gonna start wearing a sweatband. It's like, yeah, Ryan.
It's right,
it's
right
around,
there.
yeah.
It's right there in front of
It
you.
does exactly as
Yeah.
advertised.
Yeah.
They're not all
It's great,
sweatbands,
it's
some of them
great,
are
it's great.
headbands
Yeah,
for the
it's
girls
great.
section.
All right. Well, that's what's grinding my gears. If I can't figure out my sweat situation, I'm not gonna get a sweatband.
Can you
but
get a
might-
battery operated clip fan to
I
put
might.
on?
I might.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might. That might be the best solution. I don't do it super often, but sometimes I need to. So
It's a good idea.
that's what's grinding my gears. But I think that's pretty much everything we got for today, right?
All right.
We're gonna
Sweet.
wrap it up. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for watching us.
Thanks for watching us.
Yeah.
You can find all of our episode updates on our Facebook page. Occasionally, we post stuff on all of the other social media channels. Listen to us on all of your favorite podcast platforms, and
Where
Go
can we
watch
watch?
us on YouTube at Bike Race Weekly.
and if you like the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button.
Comment. Tell us what's
Comment.
grinding your gear.
There
Tell
you
us
go.
what's
Tell us what
grinding
grinds
your
your
gears. And we'll continue to pump out some sweet videos coming into the bike season.
Maybe tell us what we should have for beer of the week.
Yeah, we are open to taking suggestions.
Yep.
We might not follow them, but we're open to them.
Always.
Always open. All right. Well, I think that's it. Bye, everybody.
You want to go stop the camera?
How do I stop it? How do I stop the camera?
Oh, there's a red button at kind of like right here.
By the monitor.
Yeah.